Now then, people, and welcome back to the Just Joe Football Show. As you'll know, no live streams this week as I'm away to see my mum. So what I wanted to do is just pre-record a couple of videos that I'll put out at 6 p.m. each night, just for you to have a look at, give you something to tie you over, and hopefully some great content that you will enjoy. So please do smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, get your comments in, and of course hit that notification bell. And the first video that we're going to be going through is, of course, does the Premier League need Leeds United? Does it deserve Leeds United? Well, we will be answering them questions on the other side of this intro. Hey, it's 1-0. We're fucking down. 13th in the Championship. The takeover happened, as I said it would. People will be... Oh, when have we got Leeds? So I thought up this idea, folks, after seeing Simon Jordan and Danny Murphy speak so glowingly on TalkSport about Leeds United and the fact that the Premier League needs Leeds United. You're getting that from a former owner's perspective and a former player's perspective. Both of them, Jim White included, said the Premier League does need Leeds United. Now, of course, I am biased. I'm going to say yes. But I'm going to give you some reasons as to why the Premier League needs Leeds United. But first of all, let's start with what Simon Jordan had to say. Simon Jordan said this: I've always maintained the view that Leeds have one of the most intimidating grounds in English football, one of the best atmospheres within the country. Now, of course, I'm going to agree with that, but I don't think many would disagree, if we're being totally honest. Vociferous crowd. Baying for blood kind of crowd. Danny Murphy echoed them thoughts and said, listen, you always knew you were in a game when you went to Elland Road. He goes on to say that this club is of a significant stature. Okay, we were at the Premier League for 16 years, came back up, whatever. You know, we get relegated. But he did say it is a huge club and a scale of club that warrants being in the Premier League. He even went on as far as to say, as a football person, with all due respect to Southampton, I'd rather see Leeds United back in the Premier League. Now, let's talk facts, people. Leeds United is one of the most historic clubs in English football. 3 league titles, the last true English champions, by the way, before the Premier League became a thing. An FA Cup, a League Cup, and 2 Intercity Fairs Cups. We should also, by rights, have a Champions League as well. We all know we are the real champions of Europe. Obviously reaching the final back in 1975, but we were absolutely robbed by a corrupt referee who was deemed to be as such years after. Bayern Munich cheated us, the referee cheated us, because if you see that game, if you watch that game, Leeds United definitely should have won. So in terms of history, it's all there. Check in the box. Of course, fans as well. Listen, there's loads of different measuring sticks with what you deem to be a big club. But for me, it's history, it's fans, etc. History, check. Fans, we're known throughout the country. Throughout the world even, wherever you go in the world, you will find a Leeds United fan. The same can't be said for a Southampton. The same can't be said for a Crystal Palace. Definitely can't be said for a Brentford. I'm sorry, I get that you get to the Premier League on merit, okay? I understand that completely, but we're talking about whether or not Leeds United deserve and need to be in the Premier League in order for it to be a bigger spectacle. We have a passionate and loyal fan base that have supported this club through thick and thin. I always remember a conversation I had with a friend of mine who was a Man United fan, doesn't go to games, hasn't been to games, etc., etc. But when we got relegated, one of the first things he said to me was, are you still going to support them now you're relegated? Like, it's a different mentality. It's a different mentality. I remember watching a football podcast once, and I mean, rightfully so, they got battered across social media, but they were like, I don't think you can be a real football fan if you're supporting teams like QPR and stuff. That's literally what came out of their mouth. There's this top 6 elite mentality, which, by the way, I make this claim now as well. Had we have never lost all that money and had Ridsdale in charge and maybe got into Europe the following season and therefore not had to pay off all these debts and loans that we'd taken out on the guys that we might get Europe, that we would be one of the big 6. On a regular basis, we were finishing above the majority, or at least half of them teams that now consider themselves the big 6. And it's not just me saying this. Even the most hardened rivals, and we'll get into that in a sec, even the most hardened rivals will look forward to a game with Leeds United. Both fans, players, pundits all agree, really, that the Premier League is a better place with Leeds United in it. You know, we bring excitement, we bring intensity, and rivalry to the competition. Arguably our biggest rivalry, and I know this team will try and little bro us and say that they're not bothered, but they're lying through their teeth, or at least what remains of their teeth. Of course, Manchester United, you know, this dates back to the 60s, the 70s, when both clubs were at the top of the game. And these fixtures always provide drama, controversy, and it even goes deeper and to the War of the Roses, man. It's Yorkshire versus Lancashire. It's red versus white. Younger fans might not get this, but yeah, the Roses derby is a thing. Another big rivalry is Chelsea. Again, do your research, but this is another fierce rivalry that stems all the way back from the 70 FA Cup final. It was a violent and controversial match. They did win it after a replay, but it's one of them games that, you know, when re-refed, I think they said they'd have about 8 red cards or something. There's a great video done by LUFC Lewis. Make sure you go check it out. But even in the late 90s and early 2000s, when we were still in the Premier League, competing at the top end of the table, our matches were always competitive and vociferous and angry. You know, I remember watching an interview of Gus Poyet saying that was one of the biggest games that them Chelsea players during that time, the likes of Villar, Di Matteo, Petrescu, all these players, Zola, etc., they look forward to that Leeds United game. So history, fans, rivalry, big games, that's great for the product. And the more time and success that Leeds United have in the Premier League, the bigger those rivalries get. I genuinely say with chess now, the Leeds United that you will see coming up this time or the next time that we come up is going to be a totally different Leeds United to the one we've seen under Bielsa. Amazing football, but behind the scenes it was archaic. Simon Jordan says that on the very video that we're, you know, talking about and decided to make this video around, where he said, you know, it was Victorian behind the scenes compared to what we see on the pitch. So that's now changed with the 49ers in charge, who have now, you know, just been to a Super Bowl, so they know their eggs. We also have a talented squad. That's why we're doing as well as we are in the Championship. Great young players coming through as well, the likes of Somerville, Nonto, Archie Gray, Gio Rutter. The list goes on. We've got a great coach in Farke now. Of course, Premier League fans might see this and go, well, he always failed at Norwich. He was never backed at Norwich. You will see a totally different Daniel Farke when we return back to the Premier League. And we can reignite them fierce rivalries with the likes of Manchester United, Chelsea. Look, at the end of the day, everybody hates Leeds, right? Dirty Leeds for a reason, do you know? So it's a big fixture for everybody. I can't lie, this is why we deserve to be there at the top end. Because you all look for that fixture. Let's not lie. I mean, Danny Murphy said something great. He said, you know, that the league was better for Leeds being in it all round. And in my opinion, of course, I'm going to agree with him. You know, we add more value and quality to the Premier League by bringing history, fans, style, spirit. We can reignite old rivalries and no doubt make new ones because, as I said, everybody hates Leeds. Just go on Leicester and Southampton and Ipswich Twitter. No matter where we are in the table, there will always be someone that despises us. But you hate us because you're not us, right? Look, at the end of the day, the next 6 fixtures, Leeds United have been picked for Sky. There's a reason that is. Everybody loves to watch Leeds United. And on the flip side, everybody loves to hate Leeds United. And us as fans love that about this football club. In my opinion, we will return at first time of asking anyway. But yeah, I just thought it was a great discussion point to have over whether or not Leeds United deserve. And the Premier League needs Leeds United. And I think we deserve to be in it, based on this season, of course. For me, playing the best football, the most exciting brand of football. And the Premier League certainly needs a club like Leeds United. As I've listed before, the fans, the history, the rivalries, the style, everything that we can bring when packaged up makes the Premier League a better place. Now, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Do you agree? Or are you a hater and think that we should languish in, I don't know, the Vauxhall Conference North or whatever it's called these days? But listen, thanks as always for watching this video. Please do smash a like on it, subscribe to the channel, get your comments in, and of course hit that notification bell, and there'll be another one dropping for you tomorrow at 6 PM. Peace out. Leeds, Leeds, Leeds.